If you need unlimited domination, clutch time, or anything else grinded, make sure you hit up Rose NBA on Twitter for quick, safe, and reliable grinding services.
Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best centers in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM here on this list. But before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 8,000 subscriber mark on the channel. Sorry, the 9,000 subscriber mark. We hit 8K a couple days ago. Really do appreciate all the recent support of the channel, and would really appreciate it if you do subscribe. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's start off with number 10, which is where I'm going to put Kevin Garnett. This KG card has been really solid for a long time, and I still do believe he hangs on to the back end of the top 10 at the center position. He's 6'11 with a 7'2 wingspan, good speed, acceptable shooter, good interior player, very good defender, great defensive badges. He's got catch and shoot, quick first step, claymore on gold, solid all around shooting badges, very solid finishing badges, but especially defensively is where he's really good. Release is solid, not amazing, but it's smooth and easy to green. It's just not super fast, but he doesn't move well, but he does a lot of things well on the court. A little bit undersized at center, and I will say he doesn't play quite as big as a couple of the other guys that I feel like we're gonna have at the center position, or also those kind of undersized centers. Doesn't quite play as big as those guys in the interior, but I do think KG's an absolute dog and deserves a top 10 spot on this list for sure. At number 9, we got Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Big Z is still a pretty viable, I just accidentally went to a other site, my fault. Big Z, he's still a viable option at the center position, even at a competitive level, because of his size and his shooting. The problem is he's incredibly slow, and that kills him defensively. Does have a lot of good off badges like catch and shoot, climber, corner specialist, anchor, box out, beast, brick wall, drop stepper, postman technician. Obviously going to be an elite masher, really good rebounder because of his size, and his jumper is absolute money, in addition to the fact that he can get every badge added. Being a trophy case player, meaning you can add badges like limitless range, bailout, quick first step, defensive badges like a chase down artist and a pogo stick would probably be the ones that I'd look to add to as an interior defender, maybe interceptor as well. But release is really good. I love his release. Does not move well at all, obviously, especially with as slow as he is, and his speed is what keeps him low on this list because he still moves like a slug. But I do think he's a very solid card still and does deserve a top 10 spot. At number 8, we're going with Moments Joel Embiid, one of the best moments cards, if probably the best moments card actually, that I'd say we've gotten all year. Really solid card. He's got acceptable speed, he's an acceptable shooter, good defender, especially on the interior with half anchor, half post lockdown, good dunker. He's got great size at 7 foot with a 7'5" wingspan, very solid shooting and playmaking badges as well. Can get the quick first step badge, no limitless takeoff posterizer, but that's all right. Doesn't have some of the perimeter badges like clamps and glove. Would like him to have interceptor, but you can live without it. Decent release. It looks kind of ugly, but it's honestly pretty quick, so that's nice. Again, does not move well at all. That Embiid dribble style that we're seeing a lot of these centers have is a terrible dribble style, and he's not super athletic or super fast either, but he's got decent speed, good size, good shooter, good interior defender, good rebounder, very solid card still. And Embiid is one of the best free cards in the game at the center position. But another free card who's elite at the center position is Ralph Sampson, and this is a card that really nobody's talking about because basically nobody has this card. But Ralph Sampson is the 1,000 card collector level reward. I do believe he's brand new, and this card is actually quite good. I know he is still pretty slow, 60 speed and excel, perimeter defensive stats aren't good, but he's 7'4" with a 7'8" wingspan, so he's even bigger than Big Z, and he's got much better speed than a guy like Big Z or guys like Sabonis, Yao Ming, those giants at the center position. He's a giant with decent speed, also has half post spin technician, half rise up, half anchor, box out beast, post lockdown, no clamps, glove, or interceptor, but I can live without those. You can add some shooting badges to him like catch and shoot, guard up if you want, slippery off ball, bailout, quick first step to get him as a better shooter and playmaker. But he's not fast, but with the quick first step badge, he's not going to be a complete slug, and he obviously is going to move a lot better than a guy like Big Z on the defensive end of the court. He's a capable shooter, and his release, I know DeAndre Jordan based default big upper, you think that's pretty bad. It's really not that bad. It's honestly kind of like Dwight Howard's release, I feel like, having tried him out, and I'm probably going to get a gameplay with this Ralph Sampson card as well. Y'all may even be seeing this on the same day that this video drops to see how good Ralph Sampson really is, but he looks like a really good card on paper. Does a lot of things well. Obviously his size is super valuable, but the ability to have at least a little bit of athleticism as well as stretch the floor as well, in addition to his incredible size, which is going to be so valuable on the interior and as a rebounder, he deserves a top 10 spot on the list in my opinion. At number 6, we're going with Anthony Davis. He's undersized at the center position. I would prefer to play AD at power forward, and I played my AD at power forward, but he being only 6'10", but he has a 7'2" wingspan. wingspan. He's very fast, great shooter, really solid interior player, and a great defender. Tons of good defensive badges like anchor, chase down artist, interceptor, menace, pick dodger, pogo stick, post, lockdown. As a trophy case player, can get any badge added, meaning badges like limitless takeoff, limitless range, challenger, quick first step, things like that on AD are also an option. He's also got the best SIGs of any center on this list, or I think it's the best SIGs any center on this list anyway. MJ dribble style, Kobe size up, normal fade. So he's got a lot of versatility at the center position. He's definitely a small ball center, and I do think he's better at the 4, but he's still a good enough card at that center position that he deserves a spot relatively high up on this list at number 6. At number 5, we're going to go with Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard is really, really good. Another guy who's a tiny bit undersized compared to some of these centers, considering he's not 7 foot, 7'1", 7'2", 7'3", but he is 6'11" with a 7'4" wingspan, a good player build, incredible interior defender with really good interior defensive badges, can now stretch the floor at a high level with gold limitless range, really good finishing badges, and you can add the badges like bailout, quick first step, and break starter to him that help him out as a playmaker at the center position. So versatile, really good card, great dunker as well. I think he plays really good interior defense. He's a dominant rebounder. That's why I'm taking him over AD at the center position, despite taking AD at the power forward position, just because I think Dwight's size, and he plays a little bit stronger on the interior, going to be a better rebounder. I think that helps him to compete against the taller, bigger centers in the game. So that's why he's a top 5 center in my team to me. At number 4, yet again, we got another one of those guys who's a bit undersized. Tim Duncan, same size as Dwight Howard pretty much at 6'11", slightly shorter wingspan. Another guy with good speed though, good shooter, really, really good defensive stats, good dunking as well. Incredible Hall of Fame badges, 20 Hoffs, including badges like Bully, Drop Stepper, Masher, Rise Up, Claymore, Anchor, Box Out Beast, Brick Wall, Clamps, Interceptor, Post, Lockdown, Rebound Chaser, Workhorse, a ton of elite defensive badges. Every one of his badges can be upgraded as well. As a Dark Matter, you can add 8 badges to him, which means you can give him basically any badge you want, like Limitless Takeoff, Limitless Range, a Guard Up or Agent 3 or Blinders if you want, Clamp Breaker on the offensive end, even an Unpluckable, things like that. While he doesn't move great, doesn't have very good SIGs, he has good speed for a center. He's got a release that is definitely better this year than his release has been in previous years. And I think Tim Duncan is a really, really good card. Again, probably slightly better at the power forward position, but still really good at center and deserving of a top 5 spot. At number 3, I'm going with Kristaps Porzingis, and I think I'm going to catch a little bit of flack from some people here because in terms of stats and badges, he's just not as good as the vast majority of the players on this list. But he's 7'3" with 74 speed and excel, so he's got great size coupled with decent athleticism. Is probably the best shooting big on this list with an elite release, amazing shooting badges, Hoff catch, corner, Deadeye, and limitless range. Not a great interior defender in terms of the stats and badges, only 85 interior, 88 block is good, but no anchor. But it doesn't really matter that much because he's so big at 7'3". He gets great defensive animation still gobbles up rebounds, and his speed at his size is really something that's unmatched for centers in the game. If you can get a souped KP, there's an argument to be made that he's the best center in the game if you get a bunch of extra Hall of Fame badges on him. But even as a base card, he is really, really good. And KP, best budget big in the game and a top 3 big in the game, in my opinion. At number 2, we got Hakeem Olajuwon. And Hakeem, again, is really, really good. Card you've probably been seeing it in competitive or on like the best teams for a long time. He's got 85 speed and excel, 90 shot 3, 85 standing, 80 driving, 94 interior, 92 block, great perimeter defender. Hoff anchor, catch and shoot, corner specialist, masher, post spin, dream shake. Another guy who's just really versatile, good on the interior. I feel like he's basically Joel Embiid, except he's a better shooter, he's a better defender, he's a better athlete. He's basically just a much better version of a Joel Embiid. Similar player build, but does a lot of things a lot better on the court. Release is also pretty solid, and he does a lot of things really well. Even kind of can move a little bit. Pro dribble style isn't amazing, but he's kind of got some decent SIGs, not just basic SIGs on this card, which really help out Hakeem as well. And in my opinion, as a base card, he's a top 2 center in the game. But at number 1, I'm still going with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think Kareem is the best center in my team, and I know he only has a 63 ball, but you get a shoe on him, you add badges like catch and shoot, claymore, and slippery off ball, coach boost maybe. Things like that are going to get his 3 ball up into the 70s, going to make it pretty easy to green, especially on online versus. He's a very consistent shooter, and he's an incredible interior player on both ends of the court. Amazing defender, really, really fast. Hoff, bully, masher, rise up, anchor, box up, beast, brick wall, and rebound chaser are those amazing interior badges that you love to see. And he just does a ton of things at a super, super high level. I mean, he's so good, especially for his price. Incredible rebounder, incredible size. His size with his speed at 7'2" with his player build, the Afro player build, 88 speed and excel is incredible. I was talking about how good it is on KP, but you got a guy like Kareem who has 15 higher speed and a very similar player build. He is an absolute dog. Decent release as well. He doesn't move well, but he doesn't really need to. He's the most dominant interior force in the game, or at least right at the top, but can also stretch the floor. Elite athlete, can even create off the dribble because of how fast he is at the center position. I mean, obviously his SIGs aren't good, but catching and blowing by, he can do that type of thing at a high level. So he's, in my opinion, the best center in the game, and that gives me the top 10 centers in my team right now on this list. Let me know what you think of my list down in the comment section down below. If there's anybody you think I ranked too high, too low, or left off the list entirely that deserves a top 10 spot. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.